This is Will Nunziata, New York City-based director and creator of theater, television, and film. And today I am thrilled to be speaking with the acclaimed artist, singer, songwriter, he does it all, the one and only NOHA. But before we get to our interview, here's a sneak peek at NOHA's incredible talent. Well, hello, NOHA. How are you?
I'm doing very well. How about yourself?
NOHA, it is so great to meet you. Doing so much better now that we are finally speaking. And NOHA, I just want to know, did you like what I did there?
Very well,
NOHA,
yes.
I would just like to know. Anyway, whatever.
I dig it. I'm into it.
NOHA, sometimes I just like to make myself laugh. Party of one over here. I want to know, where did you grow up and when did you realize, like, was there like a certain CD, not to date us, CD or band or song that like you were like, I want to be a part of that?
Oh God. Well, I was very lucky to grow up in a suburb in northern New Jersey where we had a tremendous public library. Where back in the day, if you needed media, you went down to the library, got your DVDs, got your CDs. So I used to just go to the library and just pick up whatever was just seemed appealing to me. And I mean, I could probably list off a whole bunch of albums that I heard and just kind of seemed to open up something in me. I guess off the top of my head, I'm looking off screen at a Velvet Underground poster, and I remember getting the first Velvet Underground and Nico. And I'd never heard anything like that. I didn't even know that that kind of music was allowed. You know what I mean? I was 12 in the suburbs, and hear these sounds. It sounds almost from another world, that album, even to this day, singing about really dark, strange, twisted things, but in a way that was almost uncanny and beautiful. And I was just hearing those kind of albums for the first time that would just open up a whole world of imagination. I'm thinking also about the first Pink Floyd album, the Syd Barrett one, thinking about Unknown Pleasures, Joy Division, thinking about the first time I heard The Fall. I mean, I think the through line is I like music that feels cinematic. I'm also a big film nerd, and for a long time I went through life thinking I was going to be a filmmaker. Didn't quite work out that way, but the kind of songs that I write and the kind of music that I'm working on right now, I think has that sort of cinematic quality where it's really just, they're strange short little films without the visuals. And it's that's sort of how I approach it. It's like I'm making, even the lyrics are kind of strange little fragmented scripts, and it's
They're
my job
stories.
to yes, I'm telling
They're
stories and
storytelling.
creating portraits through these songs.
Well, it's very evident. I mean, I consider you, dare I say, the neo-psychedelic rock John Williams. I mean, I think that there's a storytelling aspect to this epicness of your stuff, but there's also an intimacy. And it's this dichotomy that I don't know if you're doing intentionally, Noha, but as a director, looking at your breadth of work, there is that relationship between the intimate and the epic. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. In fact, for years and years and years, I was just an acoustic guitar player.
Stop it. I literally was going to be like, what are the bones of where you're coming from? Because there's an intimacy, there's like a heartbeat
Yeah.
that like I'm peeling the onion back to, but that yet there's this bigger land. It's hard for me to describe, but at least you understand what I'm feeling.
No, perfectly. You're doing a much better job describing it than I think I ever could. Yeah, I mean, I always wanted to be in a band of some kind, and when I was writing these songs, some of them, go back about 10 years. I imagine them with, a full sort of like 1967 Abbey Road sort of production. And I just had an acoustic guitar, and I always found it difficult to try to get a band together. But I knew that these songs had this bigger canvas. But yeah, I guess the for me, what I'm always interested in is authenticity, and it's how artists express themselves, express the deepest parts of themselves through the aesthetics of art. And what you just said, that dichotomy of almost that counterpoint of the music is doing one thing and the lyrics and the vocals are doing something else. Um, so yeah, it's like what I said about it. If you think about it as like a play, if the acoustic unplugged version, we're just stripping everything back and it's just like, you on a stage with your emotions and whatever story you're trying to tell. And then gradually we just start turning things up and we just start adding little, lighting and editing effects and whatever to try to create a bigger world for the listener to experience.
You know, Noha, you're a very vulnerable artist. You're obviously an artist that has done the work, but also a human that's done the work. You're very candid about what you've been through and what you've moved through to get to where you're at. Obviously, I'm referring to a post you made on November 26th, where you basically talked about your journey as, dare I, if you don't mind my mentioning, as a recovering alcoholic. And
Right.
I think that a lot of people during these past 18 months have had a lot of inner work to do, and maybe, dare I say, reacquainting with our inner child to almost reactivate why we do what we do and what our purpose is. And I just wanted to, first off, commend you because that post really touched me on many levels to not be,
Thank you.
because this is about you, but it moved me. And I think it's going to move all of the young NOHAs out there, or dare I say, the NOHAs out there who may not activate or want to activate yet that bliss. So, anyway, I just wanted to commend you for that first and foremost.
Well, I appreciate that. That's amazing. I mean, that's why I posted that is to carry the message, if you like, that it can get better. Things can get better within yourself, but it does have to ultimately come from you and start with you. I mean, it's funny because we're doing this interview now, and I'm in the process of mixing and recording a new EP that I'm hoping to put out in the new year. Mostly of songs written in quarantine, written in the pandemic, and I guess I was already on this kind of, journey, if you like, before that. But, you know, I guess the silver lining in my situation is that because I've been isolated and with my thoughts for so much of it, it's like, okay, we have to, I guess, work a little bit harder, you know, really bring our A games, because when we're just trapped indoors with our thoughts, and, especially it seemed like we were out of the woods, and then yet again, we're kind of pulled back down. This is a long, we're in this for the long haul. And, it's,
But isn't that life, Noha? You know what I
yeah.
mean? And I think the way regarding your post, looking at what you've put out there, you're almost basically taking and like allowing me to buoy into my next question is, with this clarity that you've had for years now, but especially these past 18 months, I'm so excited for what the world's going to listen to. This
Thank
clarity
you.
of a man who obviously realizes that he's a vessel and been given gifts from a higher power, however you may see it. I'm just so excited that you've been able to do the work that you've done to come to this point, to now literally and figuratively release your art, you know?
No, absolutely. I mean, it's been a long, 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 long time coming. And, I've always been a creative person. I've always been searching for that outlet. I've tried so many different things, and tried to see what sticks. And this is just something that I guess I fell into. I was always pretty good with lyrics and poetry when I was younger, and then all of this has just kind of fallen into place. But it took a long time to get there. It took a lot of experience, and it took a lot of, I don't think that artists have to suffer or anything like that, but I had to do a lot of living, and I had to really experience a lot. And a great artist is somebody who can really traverse the darker corners of their soul and try to mine some of that and express it outward, because it's, we forget that art can be healing in that way. When, I mean, yes, art can be escapist and light and wonderful and joyful in that sense, but it can also, and it should, take us to those uncomfortable places within ourselves, so that hopefully we can gain a little bit of clarity. And if an artist, for like for me, when I listen to a lyricist who can express something that I felt and I never, never could find the words to express, it's like, it's like it is a kind of a spiritual, it has nothing to do with a higher power or anything like that. It's just a spiritual thing that happens with art and with music. And yeah, I hope, I hope that people like the new stuff, and I hope that people connect with it, and that just see what the new year holds.
Well, you have a new fan in Will here on 57th Street, my friend. Never heard of you, but for weeks now,
Thank
I've
you.
been going down the NOHA rabbit hole and cannot wait to see what you come out with next. But again, for our
Appreciate
audience,
it.
for more on the incredible NOHA, you can read more about him right below this video. NOHA, I'm so excited you're joining this amazing new platform. I'm grateful for your time, but most of all, I'm so grateful that we're now connected.
Yeah, right back at you. It's a pleasure to meet you, and hope to see you in the flesh real soon. And thank you for this fascinating, incredible opportunity. I'm excited.
Thank you.